I do this for 30 years. Look, I do the most big design, 30 years. Look.
And today I'm going to discuss with my fellow photographers what are the things that are expected of you if you are going to step inside of that runway show and shoot models. New York Fashion Week is coming right around the corner. Now, this is specifically for those that are stepping into the fashion world, the ones that are not seasoned. This is for you guys. The ones that already know what the deal is, you can go ahead and skip this. Or if you know anybody that may need a little bit of help, definitely share this video because I think it's going to make everybody's life easier. And not only that, but you will also be able to help a fellow photographer. In my case, I am not an expert for sure, but I'm definitely inside of the industry. And this is coming from a perspective of somebody that has already done it and made the mistakes. So with that said, guys, let me get straight to it. And here we go. Alrighty, cool. So you are a new photographer, right? And maybe you're not new, but maybe you're new in fashion. So you're about to shoot a fashion week show. You were able to subscribe and they say, yeah, we like your work, come through. You're making your way in and you're kind of like scouting your spots and seeing if there's any spaces available. If you see one space, go ahead, jump to it. And what I would do is always ask anybody that is around that real estate. Just ask, is anybody here? And if somebody says no, there's nobody there, then you're golden. You can go ahead, you drop your backpack or your case, whatever it is that you brought into the event, and you claim that spot. That's one of the best things that you could do. But make sure, guys, you ask somebody, ask around. Don't just assume that because the spot is there and nobody's in it, that is already yours, because I've made that mistake in my very first season years ago. I thought that was mine. At the end of the day, it was the main photographer that came in and he didn't have to say anything. People just looked at me and I already had the feeling like, oh, I think I messed up. But what was messed up about it is that nobody told me, and that sucked. But you want to know something? I did not introduce myself to anybody. I just kind of like went really quiet. Of course, my energy was like, let me not bother anybody. Let me just do my thing here on the little corner. And I didn't say anything to nobody. I just mind my business. But it didn't come from a sense of ego. It was just like, I just didn't want to bother anybody. Everybody looked like they were in their own space as well. But that taught me a lesson. That taught me to communicate. That taught me to say good afternoon. Hi guys, how you doing? Do you know if anybody's here? Is anybody here? Did you see anybody? Did you? And then just go and don't ask just one guy, ask a few. If they say they don't know, then just be prepared to move, because if there is somebody that is there, well, you're gonna have to move. It's all about how you talk to people. You sometimes could negotiate your way in, sometimes you can't. That's just the way it is. Not in every show will you find a piece of tape that says the person's name, which is something that is also done in the industry. Let's say that there's a show that is 3 days in a row, and for whatever reason you come in the second day, but you weren't at the first day. Sometimes these guys, they kind of want to claim the space and they say, hey, I was here yesterday. I know that there was no tape, but you could ask around. I was here. Sometimes some people do feel entitled that they should be there just because they were there a day before. So it can get a little bit confusing, guys, and this is where, this is not a one-person game. This is like everybody needs to cooperate, I feel. The idea is that there are certain kind of like unspoken rules that you have to follow. I've heard people say before, oh yeah, man, I don't know how you do it. I went to this fashion show and they treated me like shit. People were disrespecting me. People have egos. And it's true. He was right. He was right. It's this, fortunately, it's not always like this. Please, I'm not trying to say that this is what you're going to find everywhere. I've experienced it before, but there are ways of taking that energy and turning things around. I'm telling you, and all it takes is just a conversation. If you see somebody that is reviewing a shot, compliment them. Oh, that's a nice shot. Those things will literally create a different chemistry wherever you are, and people are not gonna take you as a competition anymore. They're gonna take you like, oh, you know what? Yeah, man, I'm gonna look out for you. To the point that you can say to the next guy, yo, I'm about to go to the bathroom real quick. Can you take a look at my stuff? People are gonna be like, yeah, no problem. Photographers get tense, they get a little stressed. You never know what the circumstances are, guys. The main thing that I want to share with you is, look, you're gonna get into this field, just get ready. There are gonna be bumps in the road, but the idea is that you have to know how to handle these professionally. That is what makes you a better photographer. It's not you fighting for your spot and winning, it's knowing how to circumvent, or how to put things away, how to not take things personal. I was the main photographer for a local fashion show in New York City, and this one guy that wasn't even there early, he came in hours after the show had started. He wanted me to move so that he can get his shot. Now the problem was that I couldn't move, and the reason why was because I was already occupying a space that was the very corner of the platform. It wasn't safe. It just wasn't safe to be on that edge. But unfortunately, that edge meant for me the very middle of the runway. And as the main photographer, I had no choice but to take that risk. And I explained to him, I said, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't move. Unfortunately, this is my shot right here. I'm getting the models right in the middle. And I just gotta make sure that the boss gets what he wants. And he said, man, you a dick. And that was very unexpected, guys, because honestly, this guy went overboard in a matter of like milliseconds, right? So it's crazy because the owner of the show, the actual person that hired me for it, he was passing by and then he saw the situation. And as a matter of fact, the owner of the show asked the guy behind me to apologize to me, which I think I didn't need that apology, honestly. The guy did apologize, and still he was being a little like aggressive while the apology was taking place. And then the producers and the people that run the show were like, you know what, you're out of here. Everybody else looked at the situation. The people that were around me, they looked at it. They shared that they did felt better the fact that that guy wasn't there, because one person, it's all it takes to create maybe like a tense moment, especially if that person is being aggressive and hostile and things like that. I did say to him, look, I'm the main photographer, the boss wants the pictures this way. I thought that would be more than enough for him to say, oh, okay, my bad, wait a second. I don't want to mess around with you. Can I be a little bit to your left? Or, maybe that would have been all right. Like, because as long as my shot is good and you're not blocking me, you're not becoming an obstacle for the work, I'm fine with it. Dude, I don't mind. Do your thing, get your shot. But he came from a perspective of like, no, you're a dick because you're not moving and you should move. Guys, I bring this up because you do not want to go to any show, have an argument with anybody, not only your colleagues, your fellow photographers that are there just to do the very same thing that you're doing. Worse, to the people that are actually working for the actual event.
You're not going to stand, right?
Huh?
Are you going to stand?
Like that.
There's a camera right here.
What do you mean, no?
No way.
Video on the front. Video, I never saw video behind me. Why you everybody put a chair?
It's not going to be here.
Listen.
Second of all, if you don't put chair here, things are moving around.
Listen, I do this for 30 years.
You would
Look,
know all the rules. That's fine.
look,
That's
I
fine.
do the
I'm New York
most
person,
big
photographer
designer.
as well. That's
Believe
fine.
me, I never saw mess like that. Everybody he went.
On the way of that camera.
All right, let me see.
Just people here not in the fighting mood.
Okay, who opened it? So why you take all this room like
No,
that?
I'm not taking it.
Okay.
This camera right here is taking it. I'm not even taking it.
Yours, man?
So
Yeah,
you
but
can't be in front of
I
me.
know, but that high, you take all this room. That's what I want to
I'm
explain.
not
You know what I
taking
mean?
the room,
No. Camera take the room.
Sir,
Come on.
That's how they want
That's
it.
the Blitz camera. It's the boss's camera, and he needs that camera there. If any, that's the Blitz
All
company
right,
camera.
okay. Normal, we need to put the name by person. Each person needs their own name, who are and what to do, everything. Normally, with the tape. Okay, that's
can
the
take-
really
you can
show
come
working
next time
like
and do
this,
the
not
tape
like
in
this.
front.
It's who can take the position. Everybody needs their own position when it's in already working around.
Sir, if you want to complain, you can talk to the boss.
I don't want to
And I would
complain,
suggest
just
you
I want to
to
explain
organize
the
your own
right
show
way to
and
work it.
Sir, this is how the boss set
I
us
know,
up. If you want to talk
but we talking. I don't want to do complain. That's it,
Waste
man.
energy and produce negative energy.
No. The really short, it's only one way. 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 It's only one way.
Sir,
You know, boss. I don't see any boss. You know
is
who am I
getting-
boss? Myself.
Understand what is your place as a photographer. Once you are invited there, it doesn't mean that you're entitled. At the end of the day, the rules and the policies are that you are at the mercy of the fashion show, not vice versa. This is just my opinion based on experience. I don't make the rules, but they are already set. And hopefully, hey, if somebody else is struggling and they may not know, share the video, let them know, hey, listen, I think this is a cool video. It covers a few things, it misses a few, but this is the basic. Even if you're not making a living out of this, we should be professional because that is a professional setting. Understand that we also have a responsibility. It's not just to get the right shot, but also being good to our fellow photographers. Respect the process, and I'm telling you, everybody is gonna take care of you. Most likely, they'll be cool with you because you're cool with them. So guys, with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this video did not alarm you in any way. They're not the only things that I could suggest. I know that there's other people that may disagree with a few things with me, and that's totally fine. This is why I actually created this channel. Maybe you have a tip for me that I don't know about, and I would welcome that opportunity to get that from you. And I hope that the only thing I did was just raise a few things that sometimes happen in this world. We're dealing with professionals, and sometimes they're not too professional, but it's all right. We are all equals, and that's all that I want to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you can, share this video, leave me some comments. I'm out.